Character names: Cameron, Thalmir, dwells in 510. Age 24. Pronouns he, him. Color purple. Cam. Name Redwood Bow. Height 6'3". Age 28. Pronouns he, him. Color red. Jacob. Octha Shrek Show. Height 5'2". Age 22. Pronouns he, they, she. Color white/blue. Lex Tomotaro Maru. Height 5'11". Age 29. Pronouns they, them. Color purple. Mare. Name Tizzy Sweet Daisy. Height 4 foot. Age 23. Pronouns she, her. Color yellow/purple. Spencer. Name Mog. Cassiel. Ghostworm. Height 6'6". Age 32. Pronouns he, him. Color red/white. Session 1. 10/23/22. 9th day, 3rd week. Year 647 PH post-historical. City of Pretoria, Ogma Academy. We met each other and learned a few things. Tomo is completely covered. Octha is from Toya. We met our teacher, Thane. Redhead elf, about 20 physically. The visions of the school: Bellica, art of war; Mystica, arcane magic; Divinus, divine magic; Presterum, performance; Philosophia, general philosophy and histories. 2 general classes we all have together. 1 extra is light load, 2 to 3 medium load, 4 to 5 heavy load. No one really does 5. Cassiel took 3 classes and Sweet Daisy took 3 classes. Bellica, student leader; Aaron, human. Vivera, live ball. Mystica, student leader; Bridget, halfling. Presterum, student leader; Thilden, spell scale. Divinus, student leader; Akshi, Vanara. Philosophia, student leader; Terran, hellbred. Terran has studied 3 divisions: Bellica, Mystica, and Philosophia. He has studied the most divisions in the world. Sweet Daisy gets Thalmir and Redwood to agree to try Hot Ass, the iron pot game. On our way back from getting books, we run into undead, and a cloaked figure shows up to help when the big boy comes to fuck us. Another person comes with a dancing blade and lights his sword on fire with his blood. Blood Hunter? We learn that the big guy can only be killed with silver or good aligned magic. The 2 introduced themselves as Valiant, Vigil. Their names are Vigil and Valiant. The thing is called the Death Knight. Possibly the same things that were in Campaign 1? Yep. The other smaller zombies are called Whites. They want us to find out if the person who stole the knowledge to make these and either reclaim the knowledge or destroy it. Oh my god, it's Silas, the other show. It's showtime. Session 2, 11/6/22. We decide to split, having 3 stay at the scene and the other 3 go looking for guards. They bring a guard over and he helps us. His name is Sir Elliot. We get back to the dorms, and Q-Tip leaves for the rooms as the others get food. We meet Octha's familiar, Ferdinand. The barkeep's name is Sim. Thalmir tells us he is a binder. I know that history of it comes from before documented history, when the gods were at war with the world serpent. He binds ancient souls to help him for short times, and he won't put himself in harm, but it could put others in harm. Some of the souls are okay with the arrangement. We learn about Tomo's powers. 10th day, 3rd week, year 647 PH post-historical. The next morning we find Thane in the eating room and he gives us our class schedule. We give him the short story of what happened the night before. We head out to find where our classes are and see the military grade guards at the stop. The whites showed up. On our way to find our classes, Taryn finds us and gives the Filio students their bandanas for new students. I am in a class that Taryn is TAing for. The school is owned by the Church of Ogma. We don't know the name of the dean. Divinus division students get circlets. Bellica students get punched in the eye. Mystica students get a blue cape. Bridget knows who the dean is, but won't tell us. Octha agrees to be Bridget's apprentice. Mare gets a whisper and now thinks that Bridget is the dean. Session 3, 11/20/22. We talk for a bit, then notice Valiant watching us after Sweet Daisy kind of insults them. We talk for a while and we meet Teeth. We learn that he fought an archangel. After talking to them a bit, he tells us that he is supposed to take us to Vigilant. He takes us to the elemental plane of air, where we see a statue of Kaz. We are led to the castle and find out that Valiant wasn't supposed to bring us here. There's a statue of Ulir in the castle. We learn that Vigilant is named Silas, and Vigilant takes us to an airship, and he is going to take us home. He tells us that he sees a bit of his group in us. The hunters is Edoventoris. Don't know if I said that right. He tells us that he learned from an old friend that battle isn't always the best answer. Roswell. We go to land, and for some reason Octha and Sweet Daisy grab onto Kaz, the weakest of the party. He leads them to the Hunter's HQ, where he takes our weapons to be silvered. He gives us each an Aegis, weapons of the gods. We get rings of betwixtment. Hell yeah! We arrive back where we left at the exact time we left, and he returns us home with newly silvered weapons. We head to get food and go to bed. Session 4, 11/27/22. First day, 4th week, year 647 PH, post-historical. We talk a bit in the morning, and Thalmir goes to bind 2 vestiges. One doesn't work, and he's now drooling from the side of his mouth. We head to class and meet our homeroom teacher, a shorter than normal gnome, Loose Longnose. There is only 1 test per class at the end of the semester. We go through a primer lecture for the course. We are released from class and have a few hours to the next class. We split to get information. Octha and Tomo go to the library. Octha asks for a book on the undead. The library is so dark you can't see in front of you, beyond your light. Tomo has his own reasons for coming and removes his masks. Redwood, Daisy, and Kaz head to search the area where Kaz felt the magic ping. Kaz finds the ping and Daisy uses her vision to tell that it will not be a dangerous encounter, so we head towards it. We see Taryn on a roof playing music, and he is the source of the ping. Thalmir heads to the front desk to see if he can get any information on missing students. He learns nothing, and instead he tells her to send other frightened students to make a support group. He speaks with Gilnala. Okay, I'm sorry. Aktha finds a section on necromancy. Tomo is looking for something secret. Neither find what he needs in the allotted time. Speaking with Terran, we ask about the attack, and if he was around. He said he didn't notice anything. He's really hard to read. However, he seems to have this icy deposition, where it seems like everything he says at all has some hint of deception in it. We meet back up and decide that we will have a study session after class to go over what we learned for the time we head to classes. Professor Selena Verzi, Spell Scale Mystica Professor. Janine Newman, Kiloran Divinus Professor. Vakar Barf, Human Bellica Professor. Regan Newmore, Half-Elf Philosophia Professor, Intro to Logic. Kyle, if I got any of these wrong, don't yell at me. After class, we talk about what we learned about Terran. Kaz tells the group that Illsborn cannot be evil, and he learns that Tomo is Illsborn as well. We decide that tomorrow we will try and learn about Terran. Kaz will talk to him and try to get to know him. Aktha heads to meet Bridget, and Sweet Daisy comes with him, and they learn what naming is. Aktha is told that they need to learn their own true name. Head of the library, Farlan Valaris. 25 of the 27 study nooks in the library are out of order. Kaz tells Tomo his name and asks if he knows anything about his past. He doesn't. But he had this anxious feeling before. We decided to help each other find who we were before. The party decides to go to the library and look into the closed study rooms. Tomo and Kaz decide not to partake so they don't know any bad things they do. They get into one of the rooms and find a secret tunnel, then send a note to get Kaz and Tomo. Kaz and Tomo get there and investigate. Tomo heads down and sees a cold room like a meat locker, with 35 to 40 dead bodies hanging from their necks. Session 5, 12/4/22. Redwood follows Tomo down and sees the corpses. After a few minutes of them just silently looking into the room, Kaz walks down, seeing the corpses, and silently backs up. Thalmir does the same thing. Redwood enters the room, and the rest of us follow so he doesn't get jumped by something. We roll a will save, and Thalmir and Aktha fail, and they see all the corpses all turn to look at them. We see a door materialize and open. We hide, and a massive creature with its lips sewn shut walk in with two ghouls. It sniffs the room and takes a body, then leaves. Kaz rolls 33 on history and has no idea what the big guy was. 33? Jeez Louise. We decide to leave and reconvene to make a plan for later. Aktha recalls some fairy tales. New moon. Material plane has the strongest ties with the Shadowfell. Full moon. Material plane has the strongest ties with the Feywild. Unsure if that affects undead. While in the dorm, Kaz detects magic and notices there is a protection spell in the dorms. No bad magic. Calming effect. No one who isn't registered in the school can enter. Oh my god, I didn't realize that. This is Cameron who isn't reading. This is non-reading Cameron. That's actually kind of insane. That should have been hint for myself that they're all students. I am stupid. Pardon me. Farlan, leader of the library, created a teleportation spell. He is the leader of the library. Klaus, the edgy man in the tavern that thinks Octha is a child and gave him lockpicks. Thalmir's family works for nobility, the Freewaters. We go to bed. Second day, fourth week, year 647 PH, post-historical. Thalmir wakes to a fortitude save and is paralyzed with a wooden cross in his chest. Shadowy figures over him. The figures tell him he doesn't like noisy people and tells him to forget what he saw and they will live. Kaz goes to meet Taryn in the morning. Taryn is playing his flute and they talk about the Elsborn and Taryn offers to tell him about why the Elsborn are here. Kaz says he will take up the offer, but in a few days due to classes. Daisy, Octha, Redwood, and Thalmir go to the cafe and find Aaron, the buff lady, and Bridget at the table. They each get the Bridget special. Bridget can use the true names to make Thalmir succeed his vestiges. True names could find out about hell-bred souls. We decide we will sleep in the same room and take watches. We agree to help Sweet Daisy find her friends and head into town to look for him. Rings of Betwixtment code. 1. Are you okay? And a response of 1. I am okay. Anything else? No. 2. I have info. 3. Help. 4 plus. Help. Session 6. 12/11/22. Sweet Daisy shows us who she is looking for from a 7-year-old letter with a child's drawing of a sheet ghost on it. Memes are canon. Sheet ghost! Memes are canon. Octha decides to ask the sketchy man for help and brings Sweet Daisy with. And they get a nat 20 to convince him to help Kyle right after. I need to pee. They are taken to a rundown church and find a human with a blindfold. This is not her friend, and they lead them under the church. The rest of us arrive and are led in after some shenanigans with the fake blind man. The shady man's real name is Leons. Sweet Daisy worships Shar. We meet her friend, and he really does wear a sheet. Gan Agath, which means faceless and infernal. I'm going to mention now that name was said wrong. I don't know how to say it. He asked Sweet Daisy when last she spoke to her mentor Dolios. Turns out Dolios died. Everyone learns that Sweet Daisy is the Bright Queen, and her name is Tizara. Leonce was the one writing the letters for Gan. We head back to the campus while trying to make Sweet Daisy feel a little better. Thalmir decides to go to Sweet Daisy's class for her. Kaz and Sweet Daisy have a little heart-to-heart at their dorm, and Kaz leaves her with a very bad old sketch he did of her while traveling. Class happens. During class, Sweet Daisy has a vision of a man from the kingdom of blank, and he runs through a door, and there's a marble city being shot with cannon fire. He runs to another Nizumi. They attacked us. They're dead of night. Get any able body. The oracle is gone. The front door bursts open with a cat-like figure with viscous ooze rushing into the building. The moon was full. This has either already happened or will happen near a full moon. Session 7, 12/18/22. Level up! Redwood and Tomo decide to spar. They chat a little. Redwood didn't use his hand with his missing finger to hit with, just to block. Tomo's mask comes off on the final hit, and Redwood sees 2 little horns on his head. Aaron decides to ask Redwood to spar after watching the match. Redwood makes sure to cover Tomo's face back up when he notices her. During the spar, Aiden stops and jumps to the tree line and attacks an undead. Bridget finds us, and we decide to tell them about what's been happening. Bridget opens a magic castle spell, and we head inside. Bridget magically reads Cass's book, and after some discussion, they decide to go check up on the other division heads. Bridget goes to the charisma head Aaron, Sweet Daisy, Haksha, Redwood, and Thalmir head to the head to the monkey. Kaz asks Tomo to come with him to check out Tyrion. Arriving, we learn Tyrion knew about the thing and doesn't really care. Tyrion asks Cass if he wants to learn about what they talked about. Cass says yes, and Tyrion asks Tomo if they want to as well. They agree. Tyrion takes them to a painting in a little building and shows us a painting scene, one that we can walk into, just like Alia. He explains before we go in that he knows an old magic spell that could return their memories from their past lives, and that the magic was used on him but didn't completely work, so he doesn't remember everything. He meets with the others meet with the monkey Akshi, and he knows what's going on and asks if everyone is okay. He is making his move. They go to meet with Bridget and the music boy. In the painting, we are in a place that looks very like a very ancient city. There's an elf sitting on a bench. He is getting on in age, deep lines of wisdom in his face, short black hair, and black eyes. But he is painted the same way the environment is. Kyle confirms not Demetrius. There is a certain injustice in how the university is being governed, and I intend to do something about it. And I'd like you to join me. And he holds out his hand. Sweet Daisy uses her senses, and there's safety in the direct future will be the same as in a bunker in an active war zone. They meet up with Bridget and Charisma Head, and they get into the castle, and Akshi says we need to talk about Tyrion. Cass asks Tyrion if he plans on doing something to hurt anyone. He works around the question. Tyrion calls the people Artoran and says that these people have an iron grip on this world's knowledge. The university are split into two groups, the Artaran and the Church of Ogma. He tells that one of the division heads is close to Artoran. Akshi warns the others of Taran, and they tell him that Cass and Tomo are with him right now. They are now worried. Bridget has an idea that might help to either get them close or get Cass and Tomo out. Sweet Daisy gives her ring to Bridget so she knows if something has happened. The group set out to get teleported, but they are surrounded by Death Knights, and a figure says, "So nice for all the division heads to gather together." Kaz and Tomo have a heart-to-heart and decide to wait. Severus is their name. Bridget teleports them to the spot that last saw Cass and Tomo. The group spends a lot of time trying to figure out how to get Tomo and Kaz out. Sweet Daisy goes in, and the others follow. When the rope snaps, Taryn looks at them and says, "Good. Your friends have come to save you." The end. This is a 20-minute audiobook I did for literally no reason. Have fun with this.